and welcome to the morning edition. I'm Keisha Adderley. Top of the morning to you, and happy first day of November. So glad to have you join us this morning. We're going to turn things straight over to Chief Meteorologist Basil Dean for a look at how the weather is shaping up this weekend. This weather report is sponsored by Bank of the Bahamas, the bank of solutions.
Good morning, teacher. Would you believe it? We are into the sixth and final month of the tropical cyclone season, and that means we only have 29 days before the end of the tropical cyclone season. But now we take you to our ZNS Tower cam, and a pretty nice morning with just a few clouds floating around out there. On our satellite picture, we have that high pressure is in control, and that means there are going to be some patchy clouds moving into the northwest Bahamas, courtesy of this tropical wave, which is moving towards the west. That front system now over central Florida, not going to get into our area at all, so do not look for any cool down anytime soon. But outside of our studios, it is partly cloudy, temperature is 75 degrees, relative humidity quite rich at 94%. The winds are near calm out of the north at 1 mile per hour. The barometric pressure 1,016.7 millibars, that's 30.02 inches, and it is rising. Temperatures around the islands this morning: Marsh Harbour 76 in Greentown Key, Freeport 76 in the Berry Islands, 80 degrees, 81 in Alistown, Bimini, 80 in Harper Island, Roxanne and Lutra at 80, 79 in Otterstown, that's Cat Island, 79 also in Stanley Key, Kemps Bay, South Andros, and Fresh Creek in Central Andros. More 79s in San Salvador, Rum Key, Georgetown, and Exuma just behind me at 81 degrees, 80s in Ragged Island, Clarence-Town, Long Island, Crooked Island, Betsy Bay, Annapolis, Matthew-Town, Nagua 79, and the Turks and Caicos Islands at 81 degrees. And just in case you're traveling this morning, here's some travel at your favorite cities. That's going to do it for your travel forecast now. And just in case you're boating, we're going to take you to the boating forecast for today in the northwestern islands. Beautiful day, light and variable winds with flat seas 1 to 3 feet over the ocean. The high tide will take place at 9:53 this morning, with your low tide at 4:23 in the afternoon. Now, for the central and southeastern islands, the winds will be easterly, 12 to 18 knots, wave heights 3 to 6 feet with a moderate sharp. Caution flags up for your boaters. And that's going to do it for your first look at weather, the morning edition. Stay tuned. Your forecast for today and tonight is still ahead.
Finally, Friday, let's take a look at what the traffic is looking like out on the streets. Our Antoine Smith is out and about this morning.
The traffic report is sponsored by Bahamas First. First in insurance, today, tomorrow.
Good morning, Bahamas. This morning, we are bringing you your traffic report live from the bottom of Collins Avenue, just outside Columbus Primary. Now, it is important to note that this area is a school zone, and while it might look quiet behind me, in just a few minutes, this area will be filled with thousands of motorists and pedestrians in the form of kids coming down from their post-Halloween sugar rush. Now, joining us this morning to talk about issues plaguing this area is Corporal Decory Barr from the Royal Bahamas Traffic Unit. Corporal Barr, how are you this morning?
I'm good, Ms. Smith. Good morning to you. Good morning, Bahamas.
Thank you for joining us. Now, what are some of the issues that plague this particular area right here?
Issues that we find in this area, as well as other school zones, that we find motorists don't adhere to the rules of the school zones. Once you approach a school zone, which are all equipped with a pedestrian crossing guard and pedestrian crossings, you to pay special attention to those persons on these street markings.
Now, there is a particular speed limit that motorists must obey, and some of the signs aren't properly displayed. So what do you want motorists to know about when they enter a school zone?
Well, the speed limit once entering a school zone is 15 miles per hour, and that's not throughout the day. That's once you're traveling to that zone between 8:15 a.m. and 9 a.m. and 2:45 p.m. and 4 p.m. Throughout hours between that or around that, then the speed limit would be the normal 25 miles per hour. Areas where we find that the signs are not displayed, is no excuse because a school is there. Once the school is there, then the area in school hours or around those hours, you would find that law kicks in.
Now, what are some of the more dangerous areas, school zones for motorists to know?
When you find areas or schools in the areas that are on a main road, mainly the Blue Hill Road, Prince Charles Drive, those areas that are saturated more with vehicles, you would find it's a bit more difficult or more hazard for pedestrians and school students.
Now, school zones, of course, come with a penalty. Can you tell us about a hefty fine a driver might have to pay if they speed through a school zone?
Yeah, failing to stop or slow down while entering a school zone is a $250 fine, and that's something that we're going to be enforcing. It may seem stiff, but the intent is to protect our young darlings as they commute, even though they're pedestrians, as they commute throughout these areas.
While drivers are cautioned to take note of the pedestrians and the signs that mark school zones. Well, that's all for your morning traffic report. For now, I'm Anthony Smith from the bottom of Collins Avenue. Back to you in the studio.
In the headlines this morning, Prime Minister the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis returns to Abaco today for the second time this week. He'll hear the concerns from residents and provide an update on post-Hurricane Dorian relief and recovery. He held town meetings in Green Turtle Key and Guana Keys on Wednesday, and today he'll visit residents in Man-O-War and Elbow Keys.
The long and vital road to recovery and reconstruction has begun on Abaco and Grand Bahama. We will rebuild both islands and Abaco Keys stronger and more resilient. The spirit of resilience is a precious and enduring gift and a sacred trust that we are duty bound to pass on to our children and to successive generations.
Sunshine Insurance Holdings Company unveiling a new facility yesterday. Sunshine House is located on John F. Kennedy Drive. The multi-million-dollar edifice is now home to Sunshine Finance, Commonwealth Brewery, and Gateway Ascendancy. Prime Minister the Most Honorable Dr. Hubert Minnis was on hand for the ceremony.
It is always a source of inspiration to see a Bahamian-owned corporate group dream and accomplishment such as a project as we are witnessing here today. This new edifice is a substantial development, opening in the aftermath of Hurricane Dorian, which will have a far-reaching impact on our national economy.
Social services officials appealing to persons who are normally assisted by the Social Services Department with housing, rent, utility payments, and food assistance not to go to designated hurricane relief distribution centers to access services. Minister Frankie Campbell says services at the relief centers are reserved exclusively for hurricane survivors.
If persons who are part of our usual assistance program come here, they would find themselves being turned away. And so we're trying to prevent that. We're trying to avoid that. And we're asking persons who normally are assisted by social services not to come here, to continue to go to the usual centers that they would have gone to. And that would facilitate this center, the center on Tonic Dallin, to be used for what it was intended.
Now, Minister Campbell also noted that social services staff and volunteers have been pulling out all the stops to assist clients.
We've been asking our staff to work overtime. We're grateful to all of the volunteers that have come forward. Many of them don't want to be televised because they're doing it from their heart. They're not looking for any publicity. But we could not have done it without the volunteers. We could not have done it without persons from social services and urban development working overtime, and we definitely could not have done it without all of the donations coming from the public. And again, I can't thank them enough on behalf of the ministry, on behalf of the government, on behalf of the affected persons.
Still to come in the morning edition, it's back to the polls today for staffers at NIB. We'll speak with the labor director on that and other hot-button labor issues when the morning edition returns.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best-kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including Aquaventure Water Park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
Hey, y'all, what's up?
Hey, what's that?
What y'all getting?
Listen, I've been waiting to march down some lobster, yeah?
Hi, I'm Matthew. I will be you guys' waiter today. Can I take your order?
Oh, I've been jonesing for some grouper tread.
Y'all see this?
See, this ain't gonna work. Where the fish gone, though?
But how, though?
Don't leave our children with no fish in their future. Protect our sea. Protect our way of life. Protect the Bahamas. To learn how you can help, find us on Facebook at Bahamas Protected. See the future.
Explore the world of agriculture with us. Join me, your host, Carla Palmer, for continued adventures in agriculture and the marine environment as we head into Season 2 of the program, Agriculture Now. That's Agriculture Now, moving to a new date and time, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Saturdays at 9 a.m., right here on the ZNS Television Network.
Now you can watch the ZNS network of channels absolutely free. That's right, ZNS is now broadcasting 3 separate channels, free to air on Channel 13. One channel has the regular ZNS TV HD programming. One is the Parliamentary channel, and one is the 24/7 television community page. These channels may be accessed simply by attaching either a rabbit ears antenna or an indoor amplified antenna to the RF input connector on the back of your digital television or flat screen TV. Once the antenna is connected, select TV mode and choose Auto Scan, and your TV will automatically pick up Channel 13 at no charge. Once you're on Channel 13, just use the channel selector to go to each of the 3 ZNS free channels. Antennas are available on many sites online. Free TV, ZNS brings it back to you.
Of the best in clean energy in the Caribbean has been revealed, and looks like we're at the top of the list. The Bahamas took home top prizes at the Craft Industry Awards earlier this month for energy initiatives headlined by the Ministry of Environment. The Bahamas National Stadium Solar Car Park project won the award for top distribution generation project, and the Anatole Rogers Solar Initiative for the top energy efficiency project. Bermuda, Jamaica, and the Turks and Caicos were among top winners as well. Minister for the Environment, the Honorable Ramal Ferreira, says the recognition is just one more milestone as the Bahamas works to bring efficient energy to a more mainstream level.
Both of those projects received awards from an international agency called CREF, Caribbean Renewable Energy Fund, and so we are delighted that these projects have been recognized in such a way for their groundbreaking in terms of the Bahamas, because what we've done is captured the imagination of our citizens. And we know a number of citizens already have renewable energy devices and panels on their homes. We encourage them to register with the Ministry of Environment and Housing, that we can keep track of this as we march towards our goal of 20% of renewable energies becoming more mainstream in the country's generation mix.
The Environment Minister also noted that the government will be looking to incorporate more energy-efficient projects going forward.
We intend to roll them out on public schools and public buildings, subject to grant funding, of course. So I really want to congratulate and thank the members of our climate change unit in the Ministry of Environment that have worked so hard in preparing the grants. Of course, we want to thank the government of the United Arab Emirates, and we want to thank the Italian government for the grant funding, and also the Bahamian people for their patience with us as we march towards this goal.
Most deciding on a career is often one of the hardest decisions to make, but the students we're introducing you to this morning already have it all figured out. Here's Antoinette Smith.
They say if you look good, you feel good. You put on the clothes, you feel that way. You look that way. You will become that way.
And that's why these students are all dressed to a T, wearing the clothes that will one day become their future careers.
We decided to have a career day. We want students to actually sit down and think about their future, what they would like to be, how they would help people, because the ultimate goal of Bahamas Academy is to help people. We try to instill in our students things that will not only take them for this life, but also for the life to come.
The stylish nurses, teachers, and athletes got a look into the future as they sat through presentations and demonstrations from real-life doctors, police officers, and even pilots. And it was a display that this soon-to-be pilot Avery Ingram calls an amazing experience.
I was excited when he came up. I was excited because, he had the same dream that I had. He wanted to be a pilot, just like I want to. So.
Students say they are taught that the possibilities are endless and the sky is the limit. We even met one student whose dream was to shoot for the stars.
And I might just, try to go where nobody has gone. Like, some people never made it to Mars. If I could get there, then I want that to be a record.
Principal Juliet Sands says while this career day was especially meant to inspire students, it was also meant to encourage the school's seniors.
Whatever you do in life, you need to make sure that you are enjoying it. You need to make sure that you're doing it to help others.
Aspiring forensic pathologist and senior Sinkaya Wright says today she's just taking it all in.
I don't know. I'm really enjoying today. Every day we are taught to always be, successful, and that's what they want for us. So they would always, tell us that this is what we're supposed to do.
Well, for many young kids out there, what you want to be when you grow up is a big question. But for now, the teachers and staff at Bahamas Academy say they just want to encourage and produce young, bright, and inspiring students. Reporting for ZNS Network News, I'm Antoinette Smith.
Well, we now take you to Grand Bahama for more from the Northern Service with Megan Shepard.
Hope Fleet International is a fairly new Christian nonprofit humanitarian organization based in the United States. President and CEO Danny Maroney says that he saw a local church on the ground doing a great work assisting those in need here on Grand Bahama. Maroney says it took a lot of love and partnerships to bring some 300 hygiene kits to the students and faculty of the Bahamas Technical and Vocational Institute.
A lot of these supplies come from University of North Florida up in Jacksonville. Thank you, Joanna, and that team, and then some dedicated volunteers to pack these up before we brought it over on the sailboat. We figured there's so much going on, and this is not a short-term problem in the Bahamas, and that's something that I don't want people to forget. People move on very quickly after disaster, happens, and they don't realize it's going to take it's a long road to recovery. And we know the storm is still affecting everyone's present. What we don't want is to affect the students' future. So we want to give them the best start we can. It's not much, but it's everyone has some shampoos, conditioners, sanitizers, a few different things to get them through.
Maroney says the unique organization is made up of sailors and boaters who want to make a difference in communities that need it most.
We gather sailboats and other boaters, private boaters, and we load them up with essential, relevant supplies, and we try and bring them to the right people. So we found that boaters want to help, and they want to do something, but we need a bit of organization to be effective. And so we look for the local people doing the real work here.
Associate Pastor of New Hire Anointing Ministry, Lorenzo McKenzie, says that they are grateful to Hope Fleet for reaching out and assisting with this outreach.
We have stuff coming in from Barbados and different parts of the world up to New York, and so we just went on the ground and gave out. Just giving, just from the third day we just was moving, and then we changed to feeding. So we're feeding at the same time, maybe 200 to 300 persons per day, and we give out groceries and we give out garbage bags of groceries. We don't just give out groceries. We don't give out a little small grocery. We give out, because the reality is, if you've been there before, then you know how it feels. Some people might have never been there where they get caught in a hurricane and they don't have no money to take care of their children. I've been there. I know how that feel.
Associate Vice President Veronica Colley adding that a number of students expressed concerns following the massive hurricane, and the school is truly grateful for this donation.
People might not have been affected directly, but of course indirectly, and there are things that they just can't find. Some people, you have students who are saying that they lost their jobs, or their jobs might not become available until later on in the year while, you know, repairs are going on. So yes, the donations will be very helpful for our students. We are planning a day when we will have what we call a welcome back, and we want to do care packages. And when I reached out to one of our staff members, Dr. Ambrista, she was the one who reached out to Pastor McKenzie, and Pastor McKenzie got to Hope Fleet International, and that's why we are here today. And I must say we are indeed very grateful to have this donation here today.
Now, Associate Pastor McKenzie also made donations to St. George's High School and his sister Mary Patricia Russell Junior High. Megan Shepard, ZNS Network News.
Well, still to come this morning, to strike or not to strike. We are going to talk about that pending vote at NIB today and other hot-button labor issues. We have the labor director live. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Comfort Suites Paradise Island is the best kept secret in the Bahamas. Located directly next door to the Atlantis Resort, you'll receive all the privileges of an Atlantis guest with all the benefits of a Comfort Suite stay. Enjoy everything Atlantis has to offer, including aquaventure water park, plus all the amenities of Comfort Suites. Free Wi-Fi, free breakfast daily, and kids stay, play, and eat free. Visit ComfortSuitesPI.com.
What you see on this television station is governed by IRCA's Code of Practice for Content Regulation. The Code of Practice covers matters relating to program content that are of concern to the community, such as local content, news, current affairs, and programs for children, advertising, including political advertisements, and the responsibilities associated with broadcasting in the Bahamas. The code also covers aspects such as access services for the hearing and visually impaired, and the procedure for lodging a complaint about anything broadcasted by this television station. The code is available on IRCA's website at www.ircabahamas.bs. To receive a copy of the code by mail or in person, you may telephone IRCA at 242-393-0234. Family Island dialing is toll-free at 242-300-8722. Or you may send a request by email to info@ircabahamas.bs.
Welcome to the best of sports world.
Well, what about me?
What about you? What?
Well, I thirsty too, you know.
You want to see all the water out there?
Well, why you don't give me your water, and then you go try and drink that salt water?
You crazy, eh?
I ain't the one talking to a dog, you know.
Ain't nobody could drink salt water.
Then why you won't give it to me? All dogs need fresh, cool water and sufficient shelter from the sun all year round, especially on the beach and during the hot summer months.
Summers are very hot here in the Bahamas, so please make sure all pets have ample, cool, fresh water in proper containers and sufficient shelter from the sun, even on the beach. And make sure all dog houses and kennels have proper ventilation. Let's make it Bahamian to be humane.
This message has been brought to you by the Bahamas Humane Society and the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
Good morning and welcome back to the Morning Edition. Well, as you know, if you've been following the headlines, employees of the National Insurance Board will cast ballots for a second time in as many weeks to decide whether or not they want to take a strike vote. We're going to talk with about that issue today with Labor Director Mr. John Pinder. Mr. Pinder, welcome to the Morning Edition.
Good morning and good morning, Bahamas.
And you're in the hot seat as you usually are, but you're comfortable there, right?
Yeah, the city ain't really hot. The Maldives.
All right, so NIB is going back to the polls today. They took a strike vote a week ago, and there were some discrepancies with that, whether or not it was valid. Run me through why there was confusion over whether or not that strike poll or those results should have been accepted or not.
Well, the act speaks to the Director of Labor or the Labor Department or somebody from the Ministry of Labor hosting a poll on behalf of the minister in order for a strike certificate to be issued after the taking of a poll. In the case last Friday, we were unable to do it because there were some discrepancies, and we know if we had conducted that poll, we would have not been in a position to advise the minister to solidify that poll. And so as a result of that, when they decided to take it to court, even though we advised them to just go ahead and give us a proper notice to ask me to a proper notice in order for us to conduct the poll. The notice was not properly prepared. And so they have now prepared a proper notice, and the court have asked us to conduct those elections this morning.
Now, this is a second go. They took it to court, as you said. What was the reasoning in your estimation as to why the court made the decision that it did to take it again?
Well, they took it to court hoping that the court would have persuaded or demanded or ruled that the Department of Labor would have to certify their results last week. But that would have been in violation of the Act. And so as a result of the Act and the ruling by the judge, we have to conduct the poll this morning.
All right. Well, I think we know from that first poll they seem pretty like they're going in the direction of taking a strike vote.
No members will vote against their union who's trying to get them more monies and better benefits. No union will do that. So expect 100% support for the most part.
Now, we know they're in the midst of contract talks, which is always a contentious time. What are the issues they're fighting?
We're not already fighting much issues. It's only a matter of agreeing to a counter proposal from the board. They gave a final counter proposal, and during my intervention, there was a difference of about $1,000, and so that caused them to move to this level of trying to ensure that they have a strike certificate in hand. In the event they have to bring industrial actions against the board, they will be within their rights.
Now, you've been on both sides of the spectrum as a labor leader yourself, now with the Labor Department. Are employees demanding more? Excuse me, I remember the director over there at NIB referring to the proposal from NIB workers, which seem to be much above and beyond what people or the average worker has asked for in terms of increases and benefits. What are unions now demanding?
Well, just as political parties, when they become the government, try as best they can to satisfy the voting population so they could be returned, every president of a union tries to better the industrial agreement he had in place, or he or she had in place, in an effort to get re-elected the next time around. And so that's a culture within the trade union movement that you try to get a better industrial agreement than a previous one. So all they're doing is trying to demand more. Yeah, they always demand more. And sometimes inflation speaks to them wanting to have more salaries and better benefits. So that's the norm.
Is it getting harder, though, to reach a happy medium?
It is getting harder because sometimes people look at, for NIB, for example, they look at NIB as a multi-billionaire or multi-millionaire corporation or industry. The thing is that money don't belong to the government, nor does it belong to NIB. That don't belong to the board. It belongs to Bahamian workers who pay their contributions, and when they get sick, they can get sick benefit. When they retire, they want retirement benefit. When they die, it's death benefit. So sometimes they have to be wise, and the way they try to go after getting better benefits and increasing salaries. Now, I think, and I've said this several times, I believe we need to, as a country, especially in the unionized environments, those businesses that find themselves in an environment where they have to deal with unions, to look at a particular percentage that they can afford to give to the trade union movement and cause those trade unions to determine how they best want to divide that among their membership. I think that's the way forward.
Okay, that's a pretty good suggestion. Now, there's also the situation down there at Baker's Bay. Of course, that property fell victim to Hurricane Dorian. What's the prospect for workers there?
Well, at Baker's Bay, they've already begun the process of separation packages. I think they have about 300 persons in mind to separate. I met with management on Monday of this week, and I've been trying to encourage management to allow persons who are been affected as relates to the separation packages to come and register. So we're going to put some registration in place for those persons who work at Baker's Bay to come and register with the Department of Labor, their skill sets outside of what they were hired to do at Baker's Bay. They may be able to do some carpentry, masonry, plumbing, electrical, whatever. And we're asking Baker's Bay management to give them consideration so that they still be employed. It's important for them to rebuild Baker's Bay. It's important for them to remain living in Abaco.
And they're talking about a 2-year bounce back or so.
Yeah, they say in about 2 years' time they ought to have it up and running again.
How many people, or what's the increase been like for you on average in terms of people coming in to register who you think may be linked directly to the fallout from Hurricane Dorian?
Well, again, I can say there's about 1,000 persons had registered for the unemployment benefit at NIB. Some of them are displaced in New Providence for the most part. Beginning next week, I will cause our office in Abaco to reopen. There's still no accommodations, but I think the office I'm standing there is able to stay there for about 2 days to register some persons who did not leave the island but needs the unemployment benefit from NIB. So beginning Monday, I'll have an officer at our office in Marshall, Abaco Government Complex to start that registration for those other persons who were not able to register in New Providence. And I believe that'll bring the number up a bit. But for the most part, things are getting a little better. There are some persons who were able to find employment in New Providence. But again, we want to encourage them to go back to Abaco, to rebuild Abaco, and to cause the economy of Abaco to be up and running again.
Absolutely. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, Labor Director John Pinder. Well, we're going to take a break. There's more to come in the morning edition. Stay with us.
When you respond to the Word of God and you begin to speak the Word of God and you begin to live the Word of God and you begin to act out on the Word of God, you will find that there will be a transformed life. And when there is a transformed life, there will be a transformed home. And when there's a transformed home, there'll be a transformed church. And when there's a transformed church, there'll be a transformed community. I'm telling you, you have to respond to the Word.
The natural resources of the Bahamas play a critical role in supporting Bahamian livelihoods. For example, the fishing and tourism industry, which include fishermen, seafood exporters, hoteliers, dive operators, restaurants, and others. Collectively, they generate approximately $1.5 billion a year. Therefore, we must respect and preserve what we have. These resources belong to us.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
This is my livelihood.
So let's all do our part to maintain our local economy and a good quality of life. Remember, if we take care of nature, nature will take care of us.
It's the OT with yours truly, Charles Fisher.
Buddy Hield and the Kings have their...
Buddy Hield seems to be having the best season of his career. He had 32 points the other night. It was a bit disappointing, Shawnee Miller not winning the IAAF World Female Athlete of the Year. The high school rankings will soon be out. Tabernacle, the defending champion, CC Sweeting, they are always there. Who will it be this year? Each Monday on 1540 AM and 104.5 FM, it's the OT with yours truly, Charles Fisher.
For the latest news and highlights in Bahamian culture, tune in to the new Junkanoo 242, Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network. Radio Bahamas 1540 AM and 104.5 FM and TV 13. Each week, host Arlene Nash Ferguson and Darren Bastian engages listeners with some of the movers and shakers of Junkanoo and Bahamian culture. Don't miss Junkanoo 242, Saturday at 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network.
Welcome back. Well, if you missed Charles Fisher this morning, that's because he's in Cat Island as residents there prepare for a big event.
Good morning, everybody. We are here in New Bight, Cat Island, where later on this morning it's going to be a spectacular, colorful float parade. The public services here on the island will be displaying various themes. Last night we got a chance to visit some of the shacks. Our first stop was at the Department of Environmental Health, where Peggy Johnson and crew were hard at work. Their theme?
Choose to refuse single-use plastics. And we chose our theme based on the environmental health ban on single-use plastics that's coming in 2020. So we want to bring some attention to it and bring some focus to some of the reasons why it's being banned or why it should be banned. And we also going to display on one of our billboards some of the alternatives that persons can use instead of the single-use plastics.
Up the street at Airport Authority, we found Herman Gilbert and crew. They too were busy putting down those final touches. Their theme, safety first and always.
We as firefighters and security is all about making sure that the passengers that come through New Bight International Airport are well secured. We're going to take New Bight International Airport and we're going to carry it to Eris Monka Center and we're going to parade throughout Cat Island and end up at Old Bight Primary School.
In it to win it is the police force. Corporal Reservist 492 Florinda Armstrong.
We offer service to the public with courage, loyalty, and integrity. Our team is hinged on the police policy, number 4, interacting with the youths, adults, and the whole sector of society. As you are aware or unaware that the police force enforces all laws. Therefore, our team will encapsulate every area of the public service, which includes the nursing, the environmental health, custom, every facet of society the police force represents.
Our final stop was at the administrative complex where we found Julie Thurston.
Our team is Together We Can, and we'll be depicting all of the activities we have done throughout the year here on the island. We have the Heroes Wall, also we have the older persons luncheon that we had facilitated. Also, we have the tree lighting ceremonies, Independence Celebration, just to name a few.
Now the parade will get underway at 11 o'clock this morning at the Eris Monka Resource Center, ending at the Old Bight Primary School. It's going to be exciting, so stay tuned to ZNS Network News for all a display here in Cat Island.
All right, we are here with a legend in Bahamian music, Miss Veronica Bishop. Good morning.
Good morning.
It's great to see you. I know this is not your hour, but you sound good.
But, you know, I usually get up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But I just like to just lay down, you know.
So what's happening with you? I hear some exciting developments for you. You're getting ready to open a new club, for example?
Yeah, I'm getting ready to open my club tonight. The opening is tonight, so I want all of my fans and my friends to come out because we're going to have a good time tonight.
So where is the club? Where should I come? What's
It's on Carmichael Road. It's across the road across the way from John Shea, number 4. Right upstairs. It's upstairs. You have to come some stairs. So I know people my age, we don't like stairs, but it's a good exercise.
So what kind of vibe is there? Will you be performing tonight?
I would be performing tonight. We're going to have a band tonight. It wouldn't be like every night a band, but we'll have, you know, music and drinking, food, barbecue, jerk, you know.
So what's happening with you musically? You have a relatively new song out that we're going to hear in a little while, but tell me where you are now in your career.
Well, right now I'm just relaxing, you know, and I brought this song out, My Man, but it's a remix. It's a remix, but y'all don't play it too much.
Oh, we got to work on that.
Yes, we're going to have to, we have to talk to Dorian about that.
We'll talk to him. So what motivated you to do this particular one? I can't wait to hear it again.
What, the song?
Yeah, this new song.
I just liked it, you know, and I wanted to put a Bahamian touch to it. It's one that does the old country songs, you know. So I just wanted to do something different.
Well, I think
the Tello looked like it wouldn't die. So.
I was just about to say, as many times as we hear that song, as old as it is, that's the one people want to hear before you leave the stage, right?
Yes. That's the only one they want to hear.
Yeah.
They don't want to hear nothing else. I say, okay, so you want me to cut the show short? They say, no. You know.
Is that your favorite?
Yeah.
It is?
Yeah,
all right.
It's my favorite, and everybody else's favorite.
All right. I'm going to let you take it away. We're going to hear My Man.
My Man.
And maybe before we go, we could twist your arm and you could sing Tello lying here, but I'm going to get out of the way. Take it away.
Okay.
Baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down low. Put some music on that's soft and slow. Baby, we ain't got no place to go. I hope you understand. I've been thinking about this all day long. Never felt a feeling quite this strong. Can't believe how much it turns me on for you to be my man. There's no hurry, don't you worry. We can take our time. Come a little closer, let's go over what I had in mind. Baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down low. Put some music on that's soft and slow. Baby, we ain't got no place to go. I hope you understand. I've been thinking about this all day long. Never felt a feeling quite this strong. I can't believe how much it turns me on for you to be my man. Ain't nobody love nobody the way I love you. We're alone now, don't you know how long I wanted to? Baby, lock them doors and turn the lights down low. Put some music on the soft and slow. Baby, we ain't got no place to go. I hope you understand. I've been thinking about this all day long. Never felt a feeling quite this strong. I can't believe how much it turns me on for you you to be my man. Can't believe how much it turns me on for you to be my man. Oh yeah. Can't believe how much it turns me on for you to be my man. Can't believe how much it turns me on for you to be my man. Can't believe how much it turns me on for you to be my man. Oh yeah. Can't believe how much it turns me on for you to be my man. Can't believe how much it turns me on for you to
The one and only Veronica Bishop here.
Early in the morning.
To the one and only Jonathan Benson. What's coming up in sports?
Right now in the morning.
Yeah, it's just weird.
Today is the start of National Sports Month, and of course we'll all come at the end of the month with the National Hall of Fame induction ceremony, so all that more coming up.
All right, stay tuned. Sports is up next.
all day I've been over these little baby kids. I need me to.
You got to make the best of what you have in front of you. And that's some of our problems. We don't know how to make the best of what we've got. You keep on looking out the window and seeing something better. And you think if you get that, that's what's going to make your, oh Lord, this is what's going to make your life better. But I need to tell you, you need to make the best of who you are.
Join us this and every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. for Faith Touch on ZNS TV 13.
Mom, guess what it is? That's me. Bartend, do you see me? I on television. I gotta tell my girlfriend I on television.
Hello?
Babe, turn your television to ZNS. Quick, I'm on television.
I don't have a TV in there.
We have Wi-Fi, though.
We have Wi-Fi.
That's fine. They upgrade now. You can watch it live from your phone. You just have to download the app.
All right, hold on.
Go to the App Store, type in ZNS, download the app, and you'll be able to watch ZNS straight from your phone. Hurry up and start over again.
Get your news and more anytime, anywhere with the new ZNS app. Stay connected from around the globe with our live stream news updates, all in the palm of your hand. You can also listen to the ZNS Radio Network for your favorite music. Go into your Apple or Google Play Store and download the ZNS app today. Present check?
Miss I's a star now. I still gotta pay?
Welcome to sports, everybody. National Sports Month starts today. It all culminates on Friday, November 29th at Government House with the National Sports Hall of Fame induction ceremony. 11 deserving individuals in the class of 2019. Sports Minister, the Honorable Anisha Roll, made the official announcement yesterday.
Ali Culmer for softball. Linda Davis, basketball. Basil the Kid Sands, basketball, Grand Bahama. Stansell Stoney Ferguson, basketball. Paul Wong, bodybuilding. Raymond Tucker, bodybuilding. Ray Wiley, bodybuilding, Grand Bahama. Ronald Cartwright, coach track and field, just recently honored as well at the IAAF World Championships. Jackie Conyers, volleyball. M. Ambrose Guthrie, golf, Grand Bahama. Prince Zorro Stubbs, golf, posthumously. And Walter Callender, track and field, posthumously. This distinguished class represents two females, Linda Davis and Jackie Conyers. Of course, you know we are proud. And three persons from Grand Bahama, Basil Sands, Ray Wiley, and Ambrose Guthrie. On behalf of the Ministry of Youth, Sports and Culture, we congratulate all of these nominees and honorees for their outstanding contributions to the development of sports in and throughout the Bahamas.
The Junior Baseball League of Nassau continuing with preseason action last night at St. Andrew's Field of Dreams. It was a matchup in the girls' softball division. This one lasted a while with a football score at the end. The Crushers taking care of the Sports Center players 33-18.
Our first game in the preseason, I guess we're just trying to get along and build the chemistry. But I guess they just played with us. They supposed to play, and they played the game that they normally do play.
We didn't make our routine plays that we needed to make, and we need more practice.
The positive that I saw today was when persons was making some mistakes on the field, the players was just telling them to keep their head up and then make the plays.
The White Sands Division I College Golf Tournament taking over the Ocean Club course this week. It's a big boost for sports tourism in the Bahamas.
It's always exciting to have persons from the BD Golf Management Company coming back to the Bahamas to bring new and exciting events to us. This is the first time this particular tournament is being held. They have the male and the female golf classics happening. They're going to be vying for the Ocean Club Classic here at the Ocean Club. And so it's going to be a very exciting time for us.
Now, this is a busy start to the sports tourism season as well, and one corporate sponsor in particular is playing a huge role.
Atlantis has always opened their doors to us at the Ministry of Tourism in terms of not only boosting the economy in terms of tourism events that they can handle, but in terms of being open to the type of sports that they try to facilitate for us, whether it be a ballroom, whether it be a field, whether it be any area that they can facilitate that particular sporting activity. They've always been open to that, and that's very important because the only way we're going to get to the next level as we keep on expanding in the type and the versatility of sports that we actually invite to the Bahamas. We've always done track, we've always done basketball, but we're open to other avenues. And Atlantis has the space, it has the rooms, the management team has been very receptive and always been very accommodating to the type of sporting events that we want to hold.
7 weeks of play finished up in the Financial Bowling League at Mario's. The Kirky Brawlers doing all they can to make a run towards the postseason.
Have an awesome chemistry, and I think because of the camaraderie of the team, it helps us to bowl even better. So we're holding our own so far. I'm hoping we be in the playoff. We've always been there, and at the last moment we seem to get a shortfall, but I'm positive. I'm thinking that we're going to make it this time. I think what I need to do is strategize better, and when depends on how a person is bowling, I need to know when to pull, when to keep them in based on their average so that we can have a smooth flow.
The British Columbia Christian High School basketball team arriving in town yesterday ahead of the Caribbean Tip-Off Classic, which starts this morning at Loyola Hall. The team features 3 Bahamians, Joshua Dames, Bradley Lightbourne, and Kendrick Russell, and their first stop was to NEMA's headquarters on Gladstone Road.
We've had about 11 Bahamian kids who've come and participated with us to be on our teams. And so we felt that when the disaster happened with Hurricane Dorian, that we would do our part in our school itself. They raised approximately $300. And also, we did as a team a fundraiser, would have been last weekend, pancake breakfast, and we ended up in total raising approximately $1,500 Canadian, which works out to $1,061 US. We're a uniform school, so our school does a transition each year, or not each year, every couple years, with school uniform stuff and phys ed gear. And so what we did is we brought you 3 boxes of brand new phys ed gear for any of the people that may need it.
We know what it's like to be affected by hurricanes, and we know what it's like to get back on our feet. So we just wanted to make sure that we do whatever it takes to make sure everybody is on the right path. We couldn't really focus on practices. We were really just focused on our families and how they were doing. So all we could do is really pray to God that everything would work out and everybody would be safe, because material things can be replaced, but a life can't. So.
From the NBA, Buddy Hield, the Sacramento Kings still in search of their first win of the season. They play host to the Utah Jazz tonight. The Jazz already own a win over the Kings, a 113-81 blowout last Saturday.
There's always a number of things where that shows up in the stat sheet that we know we can do good. You know, they just all not working for us right now. I promise you, we work on them stuff every day in practice. We just got to figure out a way to keep our composure and just to come out and be more loose against halftime or do something different, stay in attack mode, and just we got to make shots and make plays, man. That's the biggest thing, and get stops. That's all I can say. You know, if somebody scores, they try back, come back and score and get stops. That's the best we can do. You just got to stay positive, man. I say you just got to get that first win, and that's the main thing. Get that first win off get that first one out the gate. And I think everybody just started to get that vibe, that winning culture vibe. And there's only 5 games in. It seems like a lot for the Western Conference, but I mean, it's a fun league, man. You got to go and compete each and every night, and it's the NBA, and there's no days off, and you got to come ready to compete, man.
In addition to the frustration by the players, the fans also getting restless.
They're die-hard basketball fans, and I respect that. If my team not doing what I want to do, I boo them too. And we can't take it harshly because we're stuck in right now, and I'm all for that. But you know, it's motivation. But they're passionate fans. I know they love us for sure. But like I said, we're not winning, so they show their frustration. That's what they do. They boo, and you can't get mad at them for that. And how much games more? 77? I mean, there's a lot of basketball still left. And I understand fans' frustration, but I mean, just bear with us for a little bit, man. You know, we got a tough one on Friday, but we want to win every time too. But hopefully we get our first win there, and it's gonna be an emotional game. I think it is going in the right direction. You know, it's not showing that, but man, you gotta have faith, man. You gotta have some type of faith, and you gotta believe in what we are doing. And yeah, it looks ugly right now, but you gotta have confidence. And Luke is doing a great job with us. You know, whatever anybody says, you know, we got his back. I say we out there playing. We got to go out there and execute. We got to make shots. You know, Luke is putting us in good spots for us to be successful. You know, we got to guard better. We got to do everything better. You know, and it's on us to go out there and perform. His job is to go out there and coach us. And like I say, we had great cracks at it. Where we could be in 3-2 right now, but we didn't win a couple of games to put ourselves in a good place. So it's on us, and we take full responsibility for that, and I take full responsibility for that too, because as a team leader, you gotta be ready, and you know, we gotta find a way to trying to get a win on this board.
That's a look at sports. The morning edition comes back after the break.
Latest news and highlights in Bahamian culture. Tune in to the new Jagadu 242, Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network. Radio Bahamas 1540 a.m. on 104.5 FM and TV 13. Each week, host Arlene Nash Ferguson and Darren Bastian engages listeners with some of the movers and shakers of Jagadu and Bahamian culture. Don't miss Jagadu 242, Saturday at 10 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. on the ZNS Radio and Television Network.
In our final look at weather, we're now into the final month of the tropical cyclone season. 29 days remaining, and we have no tropical storms out there to talk about. But we do have a tropical wave moving through the central Bahamas now, making its way into the northwest. That will spread some showers our way during the course of the day. Frontal boundary across central Florida, nudging towards the northern Bahamas, and that's going to stall just to the north of us, keeping us in that warm sector. But we'll have 1 or 2 passing showers as our forecast for the day calls for. Periods of clouds and sunshine, some spotty showers developing as that tropical wave gets a little closer. High temperature getting up to 87 degrees. And tonight, we are looking at partly cloudy once again with showers in spots. Low temperature down to 78 degrees. And your extended weather forecast over the next 7 days. A couple of morning showers on Saturday, drying out in the afternoon. Sunday looks a lot better with maybe a brief shower. But as we go into the early part of next week, lots of sunshine in the forecast, but no frontal system in sight.
All right, thanks a lot, Basil. Well, that does it for us in the morning edition. On behalf of all of us, thanks so much for looking in this morning. Have a great day and a great weekend.